Thanks for the introduction and for allowing us to launch this policy paper and government strategy here in CHQ. I just want to say what a pleasure it is to be here with Minister Humphreys and Minister Donoghue to launch Future Jobs Ireland. And I think it's fitting that we're launching Future Jobs here because the story of CHQ, from a warehouse storing tobacco, teas and spirits in the 19th century, to a dynamic retail, innovation and cultural hub in the 21st century, is a living example of how we can adapt successfully to change, replace old jobs with new jobs, and new wealth with old wealth. At Dogpatch, we see how new ideas can thrive in historic settings. And over the past 8 years, it's become Ireland's largest startup hub and a keystone in our technology ecosystem. Its success speaks to our ambition to make Ireland the tech capital of Europe. And we see it also in the work being done by government-funded research centres such as ADAPT, which provide us today with today's talking robot, transforming the world of digital content. As you know, Ireland is approaching full employment. We've never had so many people in work, never had so many people in education, and more people are taking up apprenticeships all the time. And as a result, living standards are rising, poverty and deprivation rates are falling. And people have worked very hard over the last 8 years, and they should be proud of how far they've taken our country. But it isn't something that we can take for granted. There is no room for complacency. Ireland made that mistake before, and we're not going to make it again. We know that even the most benign Brexit will be inferior to the current relationship that we have with the UK. We know that the outlook for the international trading environment is very challenging, with the return of protectionism and economic nationalism in some countries. The pace of technological change is ever quickening. Global taxation rules and standards are changing, and we must be on the right side of history when these changes come. Climate change means that we must accelerate the decarbonisation of our economy. Demographics, an ageing population, put pressures on welfare and pensions and services, and on a generation coming forward whose jobs do not yet exist. And the productivity of our own domestically owned SMEs lags far behind foreign-owned firms. But it's not good enough for government just to recognise those challenges and to call them out. We have to act now to protect what we have and to place ourselves to gain from the next round of economic and international growth. And that's what Future Jobs is all about. It's a policy shift, increasing the number of quality jobs so that we'll have better living standards, sustainable jobs that are less vulnerable to loss. And Future Jobs shatters any complacency and sets out an agenda to respond to these future risks and seize future opportunities. I think it's especially significant that we're making sure that we benefit from changes that are already happening in the world of technology: artificial intelligence, robotics, the move to a low-carbon economy. Sometimes complacency can take root when the economy is performing well. Hard-won success can be taken for granted and opportunities overlooked and not seized. 8 years ago, we remembered that economic matters dominated public affairs, but today they rarely feature in public discourse. Precisely because there are multiple opportunities now, we need to decide on how we prioritise our resources, our talent, our investment. Future Jobs Ireland plans for the future developments and also encourages public debate about our economic direction and what we need to do to maintain sustainable growth and quality jobs for this generation and the next. So if we're to have the economy and society that we want in 2025, low carbon, high productivity, high tech, family friendly and globally traded and competitive, we need to create the environment now where that is possible. So as a country, we need to see lifelong learning as the norm so that we're adaptable to new technologies and new sectors. And today we're announcing that we've committed to doubling our lifelong learning rate from 9% today to 18% in 2025. Businesses also need to consider new ways of attracting talent through remote and flexible working options. Women as well as men can get the job done. so that people living in rural areas as well can work for Google or Facebook or Apple or other multinationals without having to commute to Cork City or Dublin 2 or Dublin 4. This is something that's already happening but needs to accelerate. Above all, we want Ireland to be a country that works to live, not one that lives to work. Every generation needs to shake up its enterprise and jobs model, otherwise it stagnates, and we need to change the way we work. So Future Jobs places a strong focus on increasing productivity, boosting participation rates in the labour force, so we can take advantage of technological changes and embed them in all parts of our country. It also ensures that we'll be able to continue to enhance the skills of Irish workers as we move quickly towards the low-carbon economy. I believe the strategy provides an ambitious framework for future Irish jobs. We have an opportunity in particular to boost productivity among our domestically owned SMEs, and we must seize that opportunity now. Today, Ireland enjoys a reputation as one of the most attractive places for foreign direct investment in the world. We're going to hang on to that reputation and enhance it. But by 2025, I want us to have a similar reputation as a home of dynamic, high-achieving Irish-owned SMEs with a talented and adapted workforce. This is the next phase of our national development. Irish-owned SMEs succeeding at home and then going global themselves. To quote the great scientist Marie Curie, the way to progress is neither swift nor easy. However, if we plan now, we can ease that path. So Future Jobs offers a new direction of how we plan for the economy of the 21st century. It's bold, it's ambitious, and it's achievable. And by confronting head-on the challenges we face in the world of work, we can ensure that we're able to prosper from the transformations that are coming. And we can face the future with confidence because of the preparations we're making today. So I'll hand you over now to Minister Humphreys. Thank you.